Good morning. Good morning. It is 2:51 a.m. I'm on my way to the gym right now. It is Monday. It's Monday, April 20th, 2020. It's through 2:51 a.m. I'm one of those people. I'm not like overly popular. A lot of people think I'm standoffish, and for the most part, I'm just really into me, or not into me, but I stick to myself. I just kind of mind my own business, and will help anybody. But at the end of the day, I'm not the one that's going to be overly overt. But I also have a very, very strong conscience. And my conscience is a convictor. And what I mean by that is, if I've done something wrong, it sits there and it convicts me like you would not believe. And as it's convicting me, it makes me pick up the phone, call that person that I may have done wrong. It'll make me pray. It will make me do whatever's necessary to correct whatever it is that I may have done wrong. And I say all that to say that I had got into this argument with my wife yesterday. I mean, it's never bad, like where I'm like, hey, you bitch, and I hate you. It's never that, but it's maybe it's something that a husband and a wife should have, or maybe it's, I don't know. When you don't have a roadmap in a particular area of life that you're in, it's real hard to know what the protocol is. It's real hard to know what exactly the protocol is. But one thing that will always lead you in the direction of whether you're right or wrong is the conviction of the Holy Spirit. It sits there like an advocate on your shoulder for right. If you was wrong, it's gonna tell you. And it's even worse when I go to sleep and I thought it was over, and then I wake up and it's right there saying, convicting me. You did this wrong. You did that wrong. Why did you do this? You should not have done that. Fix it. And you know what? The weird thing is, I'm so appreciative of that, because I know people who know they're wrong and they will not fix it. They will not, for the life of them, life or death, do or die, they will not correct the problem. So what do you do under those circumstances? And I'm so thankful for that, because I couldn't tell you exactly where or when I developed this conviction, when I became so in tune with my wrongs. But I'm so thankful for it. because it has legitimately navigated me through situations that my behavior ordinarily would have had me stuck in. And the last thing you ever want to do when you're trying to find your purpose or move into your destiny is be stuck in a path that has no deliverance, or to be so arrogant. See, I would have to say to people, I might come across as arrogant. Very thin line, arrogance and confidence. And the reason I know I'm not arrogant, and I say that very humbly, because I probably do have some arrogant ways, but for the most part, I can acknowledge my own wrongs. I've learned over time that if you ever wanted to make a real change, you have to first look in the mirror and see what it is that you need to change about yourself before you can look over at somebody else and ask them to change them. Never be lullabied into this false sense of who you are. Or what you stand for. Never ever really acknowledging that it's you that has the problem. So while I'm thankful for being convicted, at some point in time you have to change, and you can't let those things be. Fortunately, what happened yesterday, and it was me yelling and stomping on. I was acting like I was, now that I think about it, I was acting like a child. I was acting like a little immature child that wasn't getting his way. And as a grown man, that's never a good feeling. You never want to have that. You never want to feel that you've resorted back to a baby or acting like a child and you're throwing tantrums. And you never especially want to do that in front of your children. But just as much as the Spirit may convict me for what it is that I've done and pointed out the errors of my ways, it's also forgiven me and said, things happen. Things happen, so you're mindful. It's just important to be mindful of the errors of your ways. Because when you are, it gives you a better opportunity to correct them. And when you can correct them, it gives you a better shot at living a more fulfilling, fuller, purpose-driven life. Because it's true, the time here, even if it's 80 years, in relative terms, what is 80 years to the actual existence of this planet? It's very, 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 very short. And you want that conviction inside of you because you want to make sure that you're correcting or you're course correcting. And course correcting is a terminology that they use in flying. You want to make sure that you have a course correction and that you get back on track to where you're supposed to be going without deviating too long. Because that deviation, and as a child, you're supposed to deviate, and you might deviate 15, 20 years. I deviated a long time. But as a man, you want that spirit in you because it allows you to course correct fairly quick before you hit something. Or crash and burn.